In the last Leslie speaker video, you would have seen this monstrosity.
Right, let's see if I can hold this without getting electrocuted. Oh my god. Oh, it's really... Oh.
Yes, it's exactly what it looks like. A guitar neck pretty much bolted onto a combo Leslie speaker assembly without the speaker. So the guitar and the guitar strings are acting sort of like the speaker in theory, but in practice it's really rubbish. So today is part 2 of that video, and we're revisiting this experiment to see if we can make this a little bit better. Just a little bit better at least. I've already done my homework and the thing's right here. Oh my god. Oh jeez. God damn it. So this is now where we're at. It's got its own self-enclosed sound box on the back. And the eagle eyes amongst you may notice that this plastic is pretty damn thick. Yeah, I did make a bit of a rookie error and I ordered completely the wrong size. This stuff is 20mm thick. That's really thick. And when I picked it up the first time, I nearly gave myself a hernia because this sound box at the back probably weighs about the same weight as maybe 10 acoustic guitars put together, maybe even more. It's not light, hence why it's on a keyboard stand, because we're going to be going a bit James Hetfield now. And that's because this thing, if I did put a guitar strap on it and it did not snap and break my feet when it fell down, then it would have broken my shoulders, that's for sure, because this thing, it weighs an insane amount. So I went into this experiment not really expecting what it was going to work like, not really expecting it to be that good, to be honest. And a lot of comments were suggesting to put a speaker in here, but that sort of defeats the object. The point of this is to have the guitar strings playing into the baffle. As the baffle spins around, potentially the sound gets in and then comes back out again, somewhat all warbly and funky. If we have a speaker in here, then why is it on the guitar? We may as well have it on the floor with like a normal, you know, Fender Vibratone. There was a lot of comments on the last one about a smaller Leslie speaker inside an acoustic guitar, you know, inside the hole in an acoustic guitar. And that was something I was thinking about doing, but first off, but I just really had it in my head that I just wanted to put a guitar neck on this thing. So this is where I went. The best ideas that came from these comments, I think, were actually turning this into a banjo style instrument. So that meant the bridge was on a drum skin sort of thing on the front of it, which act like a big membrane moving the sound into the baffle. So this pretty oversized sound box on the back does a couple of things. It's too thick to really be that resonant, but potentially that might be a good thing because all of the sound would be in the center instead of resonating around in the box. Another thing, if you notice around the sides, there are a load of screws being mounted to this, and that helps add rigidity to it, so the neck is a lot more solid and it isn't bending inwards like last time, which means we can get slightly better action on the strings as well as it staying in tune just that little bit longer. Another big bonus is it stops you getting electrocuted because it still mains electricity in here. There's a switch that switches between the two motors, which makes you select the 2 different speeds in the Leslie speaker. This is something else that came up quite a lot in comments, is about the ability to change speed. But the thing is, this is a tried and tested method. The reason why there are 2 separate motors is you can literally change the speed like that. There's no ramp up and ramp down. It's literally like a dum-dum, because you're mechanically flipping between 2 motors, which makes the effect really quite strong. Because if you're using a VFD, a variable frequency drive, then you're still having to deal with the ramp up and the ramp down. Another idea would be directly connecting the motor to the baffle, the spinny bit. So that means you could ramp it up and ramp it down and using something like a stepper motor. But the problem is those motors are a lot more noisy than these 3-phase lazy motors right here. Also, ignore the dodgy plastic weld. I'm going to buff that stuff out in no time. Yeah, you can see there's still some plastic in there, so I need to take it out again and then clean it up, and we'll do that another day. The other thing is it's completely see-through, so you can see everything moving, which is really nice. Oh, just look at that, how cool is that? So without further ado, let's see if this made it any better or any worse than it was before. However, I don't think it could get any worse than it was before, so we're probably going to be alright. Right, let's give this a go, shall we? It's quite a reach around. It's not the easiest guitar to play in the world. People mentioned to use it as a lap steel or a cello in the comments as well, but come on, it's a guitar. Got to play it like a guitar. Right, where's that switch? Try not to electrocute myself. Okay, we're on slow. It's very subtle, isn't it? The subtlety of the effect all seems to depend where the microphone is sat. Currently the microphone is connected to the camera. There's a subtle kind of sound to it. Well, now it's time to continue on the experiment train. I've got these two microphones right here. Sontronics. They look like they're supposed to be some sort of overhead kind of microphone thing going on here. They look relatively similar, so I'm going to hazard a guess that they sound reasonably similar. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill two holes that are the same size as these and basically inject them into the body at 90 degrees and hope that the Leslie sound overtakes the resonant shaking of the microphones, because if not, we'll have to look into it further and try and make some sound dampening for the microphones or something like that. That actually worked out a lot better than I was expecting, and it's just big enough. I just need to put some tape around these and that should sit quite nicely in there. I better not drop it in there. Now this setup has the potential to have a pretty good stereo spread, so headphones are advised for your listening pleasure. Well, it's a bit of wind. It's really hard to reach around. It's quite nice. We never tried singing in it with this mic set Why don't we try it on the slower setting? Ooh, that's awfully nice. What a lovely effect. Shame about the singing. Wow! Pretty good for Queen effects. I've got to check the lyrics on this one. She came without a farthing, a babe without a name. So much ado about nothing is what she tried to say. So much ado, my lover, so many games we played, through every fleeted summer, through every precious day. All dead, all dead, all the dreams we had, and I wonder why I still live on. All dead, and alone I'm spared, my sweeter half instead, all dead and gone. It's really addictive. So that's where we're at with the extremely experimental Leslie speaker guitar. Obviously there's a few problems. There's a wind problem with the microphones in this method. Also because the guitar is quieter than a speaker, well, you've got the motor noise to contend with. Obviously the switch noise is another problem with this setup. And naturally when I put the stereo speaker Leslie setup within the next couple of weeks onto the Game Boy Mega Machine, I may just go for the two switches instead of a variable speed, because I've got to be honest, the tried and tested method is pretty damn good. But regardless of the predictions, I'm going to experiment with a few different methods on the next video when I plonk them into the Game Boy Mega Machine. But yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thanks a lot to the Patreon and YouTube membership support. These videos wouldn't be possible without all of that. There's loads of extra content, including musical live streams, builders live streams, as well as loads of sample packs. And thanks a lot to Slack, Ippity, Schmaltz and Dressed in Dior, who have joined within the past 10 days. So thanks a lot. The support helps out a heck of a lot, and the museum is open within the next month. Woo! And the links are available below for all of the information on that stuff. Anyway, I'm Look Mum No Computer. This is the Leslie speaker guitar, and yeah, don't be scared to try it. Maybe if you're gonna do this, do a better job of it maybe. Bye.